Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome one and all. We've got a lot to cover. Oh man, I covered so much on my podcast last night. I went to bed, I woke up, and everything started breaking all over town and the world and America. So we've got a lot to cover, and we're going to cover it a lot and take your calls. If you're watching live on YouTube, the number's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. Let's jump into it. The Supreme Court, here's the headline, Fox News, Supreme Court blocks lower court order forcing Trump administration to fully fund the SNAP food stamp program. You know, what's been going on in this second Trump term is something that I've never seen happen before with any president. Anytime he's involved in any executive decision, presidential decision making, anything, they find some judge somewhere, some federal judge, to order him not to do it. There's another judge, he can't send the National Guard to Portland. A judge says he's got to pay the food stamps. A judge says, who are these judges? They are so far out of the scope of their authority. First of all, the President of the United States does not answer to judges. They're not his supervisor. The President of the United States, he answers to the Constitution and to the American people. And if he does something that is unconstitutional and illegal, even a misdemeanor, there's an entire process in the Constitution to deal with that. It's called the impeachment process. So Jasmine just sent a super chat. Thank you so much, Jasmine. Greatly appreciated. So the idea that these federal judges, who I don't even know if they have anything on underneath these robes, these arrogant radical lunatics that are nominated by Biden, Clinton, Obama. Some of them may even, be Bush judges. You never know. But the president does not answer to them. They're not his supervisor. And what they're getting involved in is sometimes international events, like with the tariffs, right? The import taxes. Somehow these judges think that they have a role and a say in international foreign relations. They don't. This thing with the food stamps, okay? Ordering him to pay the food stamps. Where's he supposed to get the money? From some other government program? Why didn't they order the Democrats to vote in favor of this? Why, there's one of these big liberal urban legends. It's a nice way to say liberal lies, but liberals have all these urban legends about the separation of powers in the three branches of government, that they have separate but equal powers. That's not true. We have three branches of government that have separate powers, but they are not equal. In fact, the executive branch, which is the President of the United States, is more powerful than the other two combined. He has an army, a navy, an air force, a space force, a nuclear arsenal. He's got the power of the executive order. He's just one person, not 535 in the Congress, or I don't even know how many federal judges there are overall. They are not separate but equal. And liberals have been successful in brainwashing through the public education system all these things that are not true. This one's rather new in the last couple of years. We have three branches of government with separate but equal powers. Total BS. Separation of church and state is in the Constitution. That's another liberal urban legend. They have all these things that they just make up, and then they put them in textbooks, and then they just say them all the time. Like Goebbels, repeat a lie often enough, and people will believe it. And that's what goes on with all of this. They just repeat this, and so far as the food stamps, I got to tell you, what we've been seeing with the SNAP benefits are a lot of people, many of them very overweight, that, and let me do a disclaimer on this. I'm not big on disclaimers, but I think it's important for this. There are many people who receive SNAP benefits that are deserving, and some of you may be in this audience listening to this program right now. I'm not talking to you. Or I'm sorry, I'm not talking about you. There are people that are deserving. They have a disability. They're elderly and low income. Maybe they've fallen on hard times. They're between jobs, lost a job, or the family's fallen on hard times. Maybe there's been divorce and there's kids. And there's other situations, but there are many people, millions of Americans, who are deserving of SNAP benefits. And we're not talking about those people. However, what we've been seeing on social media are a bunch of people that have turned this into a retirement plan. And I'm not just talking about the illegals that have been getting SNAP benefits. And I know what they'll say, it's illegal for them to get it. Well, they fill out false information on the forms and have fake numbers and stuff. Some of them do it through their children. Their children were born here, so they use their children to get benefits. There's all kinds of these people. But there are many millions that we're seeing on social media that are able-bodied, able to work, but somehow have inherited some skills through their family on how to game the system, con the system their entire life, and they live on these benefits. And some of the amounts that people are getting are shocking. I've seen people on social media talk about getting $3,000 and $4,000 plus in SNAP benefits every month. How many kids do they have? 63? I mean, what the heck? And food stamp benefits that became EBT, that we now refer to as SNAP, all these things, we want to have a social welfare net to help people when they fall on hard times, or they're sick, or they're elderly, or they're disabled in these situations. We get that. These programs were never intended to live your entire life on, unless you've got some very extraordinary circumstances, some of which I've mentioned. And people work very hard. How many of you in this listening audience work 6-7 days a week, or work very long days, 5 days a week, and are struggling, or have always struggled? But we have this entire group of people that are living off of government benefits by literally the tens of millions, it would seem. So this is really insane. And maybe what the president needs to do is scrap the entire SNAP program and craft something new completely and entirely that involves much more verification on a very regular basis, so that once you get on these benefits, you can't be on them for like the rest of your life. And many of these people are very young, in their 20s and such, and they're on these benefits, and they're so entitled that they're deserving. Now, with that being said, there are also millions of people on these benefits that do need them and are deserving. And there are also children who are being victimized by their loser parents that have set their lifestyle up on welfare, that are able-bodied to work. And I know, and this is a sad thing, I don't like to even think about this, but certainly there are people in this country, because of this Schumer shutdown, that are going without food right now, okay? The people that are deserving on SNAP benefits, and children that have parents that really shouldn't be parents, that are gaming the system, they have their entire life and budget set on getting those SNAP benefits downloaded to whatever account they get downloaded to. I don't know how it all works these days. And it didn't come in. And because that's how their life operates, there are people, and this should never happen in the United States, but it is. There are people that are going without food that are deserving and need the help and need the benefits, okay? And my heart goes out to them. But this is the Democrats. What the Democrats are trying to do is blackmail, intimidate, extort President Trump into giving benefits to the millions of their precious illegals in this country. And that just can't be allowed. And President Trump is going to break them. The Republicans have come up with vote after vote, and because of this filibuster, they won't do it. Now, that I think the Republicans in the Senate should toss out the filibuster, because when the Democrats are back, they're not going to abide by that. They should just vote and get this done. Why they're not doing it, I'm not sure. President Trump has told them to do away with this filibuster, but they haven't. And maybe that's part of the plan. Maybe they're coordinating with Trump on this and getting a lot of things done with this all happening. If you're new to the program, sorry guys, I'm drinking some Gatorade. If you're new to the program, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. The Brian Craig Show podcast is available on all podcast platforms. Wherever you get podcasts, just search for The Brian Craig Show and the podcast will pop up. If you want to catch the show in video form and live when I'm taking calls and everything, listen on YouTube or YouTube Music. Just search Brian Craig Show on YouTube or YouTube Music. Subscribe there, and you can catch the show live. If you're watching live and you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. It's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. So let me go through this article. So the Supreme Court has backed Trump on the SNAP benefits, which is a really good thing, you know. And we're very lucky that we have a Supreme Court that we can trust right now to do all of the right things. But let me pull up this article and go through it. We got a lot to cover here. This is only the first story because a lot of big things have broken. But, we've got some other big things coming up in the court, too. And that involves, tariffs and everything else. So this shows us that this court is not an activist court. Okay, this is Fox News. The U.S. Supreme Court issued a temporary block on a lower court's order requiring the Trump administration to fully fund the SNAP program amid the government shutdown. The decision came shortly after a federal appeal court on Friday denied a Trump administration request to block the lower court ruling. This lower court federal judge said, "Oh, Trump, we're the boss of you. I'm some district federal judge. I'm the boss of the president of the United States." Yeah, right. On Thursday, U.S. District Judge Jack McConnell rejected the administration's effort to only partially fund the SNAP benefits program for some 42 million low-income Americans for November as the shutdown drags on. The judge said people have gone without for too long. After the appeals court, the Trump administration filed an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court yesterday. Given the imminent irreparable harms posed by these orders, which require the government to transfer an estimated $4 billion by tonight, this was yesterday, the Solicitor General respectfully requests an immediate administrative stay on the orders pending the resolution of this application, blah, 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 a lot of legalese. Letitia James responded. Now, you would think, Letitia James is a crazy woman. She has these federal indictments for mortgage fraud. She's got all kinds of things. She's got a niece living in one of her house who's doing pornography. She's doing OnlyFans. She's got another niece that has a warrant out for her arrest that she's harboring. She's got federal indictments, and she's out there commenting in the news against Trump. New York Attorney General Letitia James responded to the Supreme Court decision, calling it a tragedy. This decision is a tragedy for the millions of Americans who rely on SNAP to feed their families. Letitia James said, "It is disgraceful." And it goes on. Obviously, we've always had federal judges doing this, federal judges doing that. But in all of my time following the news and following politics, I have no recollection of federal judges intervening on an almost daily basis, overruling the president of the United States as if they are his supervisor, or telling him what the president can and cannot do. This is something that can't be allowed. I mean, we'd have total chaos in this country. And do you think that if we had a Democrat president, they'd be listening to Republican federal judges? No, they'd keep on trucking doing what it is they're doing. But President Trump, what he's doing, it's very interesting. He's not ignoring the judges, even though he should and could, in my opinion. He's doing things the legal way where they can't. By the way, if he ignored the judges, it would be within his legal rights. He's the president. They're outside of their authority. When I say the legal way, he's doing it through the judicial system. He doesn't just do things. He goes to federal judges and appeals it and then goes to the Supreme Court so that they can't say he's defying judges and try to arrest him again or impeach him again. So he's playing by their rules and he's still beating them. So you gotta give him that. Sorry, guys, I'm very, very thirsty. I'm very dehydrated. I don't know. What does Gatorade even do? I don't know. It tastes good. I know that. All right, so last night we got some great news. This is Brett Baer on Fox News.
Tonight, just in the past few minutes, Fox News Digital is now reporting a federal grand jury has subpoenaed former CIA Director John Brennan, former FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, as well as others. It is part of the Justice Department's investigation into the origins of the Trump-Russia probe. Sources say the trio were served with federal subpoenas today. Law enforcement sources also say up to 30 subpoenas will be issued in the coming days related to this investigation.
Okay. That Peter Strzok guy, he's a weirdo, isn't he? And remember when his text messages with Lisa Page came out, and all this stuff, and Brennan. So these subpoenas, by the way, it's being reported, are coming out of a grand jury in Florida. And what they've been able to do, they have a RICO case here. This has been an ongoing conspiracy. It's still ongoing to this very day. And it started pretty much after Trump came down the escalator. So a lot of these crimes, these people are going to be indicted for, are crimes that go back to that first spying on Trump Tower. And Peter Strzok was involved in everything all along the way with this. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make some type of deal with Lisa Page to testify against him. But they may not need any deals. They may have enough evidence because these people were so arrogant that they documented everything with text messages and emails because they didn't think that justice would ever come. So they may have enough documents to indict and convict all of these people without deals. But Brennan, if you've seen Brennan, he's a paid pundit on MSNBC. He has looked terrified over the last few weeks, and he looks really scared, doesn't he? Absolutely. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Yes, Mike.
Hello?
Yeah, Mike.
Okay, yeah. This Judge McConnell, he's just another one of these judges that he's part of the coup, and every time the Supreme Court rules against these judges, they keep doing what they're doing. They don't consider the Supreme Court as, even though they're bosses.
Yeah, you're right. Well, they're not their bosses, but you're right. They do what they want to do. Appreciate the call. The thing about the judges, okay? There's the thing about the judges. I know people don't want to admit this a lot of times. The judges are political. These federal judges are all appointed by presidents. So how are you connected enough to get a presidential appointment to a lifetime appointment as a federal judge? You're somebody who's politically connected. Now, of course, our judges don't bring the politics to the bench. The liberal judges do. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Bobby from Arkansas.
Hey, Bobby. What's up?
Hey, I got a big penis.
Yeah, you do? Yeah, it's too bad you have no use for it since no one would be interested in you. Oh, my goodness. But these... a lot of pervs on the left. I told you. But, the thing about Brennan, Peter Strzok, and Lisa Page, we've all been impatient, and no one has been more impatient than me about all of this. That's a fact. I mean, I've been so impatient about all of these. I wanted to see these lawfare people brought to justice on day one, right? And it's taken quite a while for the wheels of justice to get moving in these directions. But I'm not worried about the past. I'm just focused on what's going on now. And Brennan is a bad guy. A thing about Brennan, a lot of people don't know this about Brennan. Did you know? I know a lot of you do know this. Brennan, he was CIA director for Obama. Some of you do know this, but a lot of people don't, and I don't think most people do. John Brennan is Muslim. He doesn't look Muslim. He's Muslim. He converted to Islam. He speaks fluent Arabic, and he also is an admitted communist. So how does a guy, after 9/11, who's a Muslim, speaks fluent Arabic, and is avowed a communist, how did he ever become CIA director? This is a guy who God only knows what he's been involved in his life, and he's not handling it very well. But these three, the leader of everything is Comey. Okay, I believe Comey is the leader of all of it. But these three after Comey are the next three in line with the criminal activity involving the lawfare against President Trump from day one. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Charlie from Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Charlie?
I just wanted to make a comment on what we were talking about earlier there. You just talked about with the SCOTUS finally backing Trump on this with the whole food stamps thing. I think food stamps have longly played a systematic kind of thing. Some of the things that, I've been hearing from.
Well, hold on. Let me answer the phones that are coming in while you're talking. Okay, go ahead, Charlie.
Just kind of saying, I think food stamps need to be evaluated, like you said. I think Trump should just go ahead and take over the whole program and rewrite it, because I think, if people are trying to make an honest living, there is poor people out there, and unfortunately that's how kind of things work, based on education, environment.
Well, a lot of things can be situational. Things can be situational. You can be very financially successful and be broke the next day. Things can happen.
Right. But again, I think it needs to be evaluated who gets food stamps and what they're doing to try to better. Like you said, it shouldn't be a permanent thing. People should get a lifetime thing. People should be trying to work
except
better.
In certain situations. Except in certain situations, there are people that are elderly and poor. There are people that have fallen on hard times. But that's not what we're seeing on social media. We're seeing people that were raised this way and are now doing it in their adulthood, and they never work, and they're very able-bodied.
Right. And our federal taxes, I still feel like shouldn't be going towards this. I mean, why can't there be the state have more responsibility to take care of their
because
people, right?
all of these things came about because of the Great Depression. When the Great Depression hit, people were hurting. So all the social welfare net we have is, it's there for good reasons, so that when people don't go hungry. But what's happened is, there's so many people out there that know how to game the system. Plus, the Democrats have been bringing millions of illegals in the country and giving them billions of dollars in welfare benefits to keep them here and set them up.
And again, this should be more of a state problem than a federal problem to me. I think states should be dealing with their own problems individually instead of the government trying to still, like you just said, the president has the most power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why should the president even have the most power? Just like you said, they should be responsible, I think, for the overall protection of the country, right? Keep our states together, but it still should be more.
Well, that was decided a long time ago. That was decided when the Constitution was ratified. So hey, listen, welcome to the program and thanks for the call. Okay, give me a call again sometime. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bobby from Oregon.
Hey, Bobby, what's up?
Hey, so I chimed in right in the middle of what you were saying about someone in the government being communist.
Brennan.
Why is that a problem?
Because we are not a communist country. I know the liberals are trying to turn us into that. We're a capitalist system, and a communist form. Sorry about that. A communist form of government is against everything that this country stands for.
But the main thing that this country stands for is the freedom. It's freedom.
Oh, no. Okay. I understand. Okay, yeah. No. You can be a communist. Yeah, you have the right to be a communist, even though you would be living a capitalist life. I'm talking about John Brennan. John Brennan was the director of the CIA for Barack Obama. And there's three things about him that are troubling. One, he's Muslim. Two, after 9/11, he's Muslim. Two, he speaks fluent Arabic. That's how Muslim he is. And three, he's an avowed communist. You can't have a communist who's in charge of our number one intelligence agency with access to the most classified secrets this country has. That's different than an individual like you being a communist.
Okay, so
it's a security risk. It is a security risk to have a Muslim. It's a security risk to
a Muslim.
Yes,
being a member of our government.
I didn't say a member of our government.
I didn't say in a country with religious freedom.
No. Hold on. I didn't say a member of our government. I'm talking about the director of the CIA. He was director of the CIA.
Okay, that's fine. He's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I do, and a lot of people do.
Why?
Because we have had. Because you asked why. Let me answer. I'm not saying that people cannot be or should not be. I'm a Christian. I'm not saying people should be forced to be Christians in America. But what I'm talking about in certain government positions, like CIA director, you don't want to have, especially during the Obama years, the first president after 9/11, right? Because Bush was president then. You don't want to have a Muslim communist in charge of our number one intelligence agency with access to all our secrets. It's a security risk because they have allegiance to the enemies of this country, communist and Islam.
Well, then you shouldn't have a Christian in charge of the CIA.
No, this is a Christian country. This is a Judeo-Christian nation.
No, it's not. This country is founded on the principles of religious freedom.
No, it's a Judeo-Christian country that has religious freedom.
No, it's
but
not.
But we have been at excuse me, Missy, calm down. We have been in a long-standing, multi-decade war with Muslim powers and communists that are still going on today in South America. Okay, so you can't have people like that. Like, as an example, it would not have been appropriate to have a German or a Russian in charge or a Japanese person in charge of our top intelligence agency during the Second World War.
Well, that never would have happened anyway.
Well, it happened with Brennan in a different way. You're just a brain-dead liberal and don't understand how the real world works. You're probably not a big fan of our country.
And you are an absolute cunt of a human being who doesn't actually believe in the founding principles of our country.
Really?
So go fuck yourself.
Nice language you use there. Nice language. Class act. Oh, my goodness. If you're on hold, stand by. On that note, we'll take a quick break and be right back.
This is George Colony. I'm in the real estate business in Fort Lauderdale, Florida with Kai's Real Estate. I've been in business for 6 decades. People often ask me, what's the right time to buy or sell real estate? To tell you the truth, it's always the right time. You just need to have the right advice from the right advisor. You could call me anytime because I answer my phone on the first ring. My number is 954-801-7320. That's my personal cell phone number. And I answer it on the first ring every time. Please give me a call. I'm happy to answer any question that you have. My cell phone number is 954-801-7320.
This holiday season, let's make the season brighter together. Little Light is a family resource center dedicated to strengthening, nourishing, and empowering families, sparking a little light for a bright future. They're providing Thanksgiving meal kits for 50 families in Santa Ana, California, filled with all the holiday favorites that bring people together. Your one-time $35 donation helps make it all possible. But don't wait. Go to littlelightfrc.org and help share the joy, the love, and the light this holiday season. That's littlelightfrc.org. Make sure to share the link on all of your social media so your friends can help too. littlelightfrc.org. Are you looking for a gift that lasts a lifetime? One that's personal, powerful, and proudly American-made. At Back 40 Metalworks on Etsy, that's Works, W-O-R-X. They turn ideas into steel. Since 2010, Back 40 Metalworks has been crafting over 200 unique metal art designs, from wildlife and rustic decor to modern wall pieces and custom creations. With more than 30 years of experience working with metal, they know how to shape your vision into something extraordinary. Need a personalized welcome sign for your home? A company logo? A one-of-a-kind Christmas gift? Something for mom or dad on their day? Or any other day of the year? Every piece at Back 40 Metalworks is built to last, indoors or out, and every design tells a story, your story, in steel. Visit the shop online right now. Back40metalworks.etsy.com. That's W-O-R-X. And view the inventory. You will be impressed. Back40metalworks.etsy.com. They turn ideas into steel.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast, available wherever you get podcast. If you're watching live on YouTube, you're welcome to call in. The toll-free number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I am Angela, calling from California.
Hey, Angela.
Hi. I work for Social Security as well as my husband. We haven't been paid, and this has got to stop. I don't know what was the title. I just been wanted to talk on the show because I love your program that you are doing. Okay, so the question I have for you, can we turn this country around the way it's looking now? I mean, we're being invaded. I'm just really scared.
Well, what do you mean we've been invaded?
Well, by the Muslims and all these people coming in.
Well, I don't think, we're not being invaded. President Trump stopped the invasion, but Obama and Biden did bring a lot of settlers and colonists into the country. Yeah, they're already here.
Yeah.
But so far, I'm sorry you haven't been paid working for the federal government but the Democrats won't vote on the budget in the Senate. The Democrats led by Schumer are continuing to keep the government shut down. So now? But listen, now you haven't been getting. How many checks have you guys missed?
We missed 2 weeks and a half payment.
Oh my goodness!
That's 4 weeks, almost 5 weeks of pay, and we're digging into our savings.
So
which we don't have much.
So you've missed basically a month of your pay so far. You missed 2 pay.
Correct.
So what are people that work for the federal government doing so far as rents, mortgage, car payments, and stuff?
We do have they sent us a link program, but it's not much. It's hard. My girlfriend called. She's hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing. She's deaf.
Oh.
And she asked me, hey, are we going to open? I told her no. She goes, I've been kicked out. I'm going to be kicked out of my apartment.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to go find another job. I'm like, oh, my goodness. So we have coworkers are just by paycheck by paycheck.
Sure.
And I don't know what they're going to do. We have judges, but I don't know if the judges can pull out of their money and kind of help their coworkers.
Well, I'll tell you, the thing about when it's over, it'll be over soon. How much longer can this go on? And you'll get one big paycheck with everything.
Yeah, I know.
So
and we've been shut down 5 times, but we turn around really fast. But this is the longest shutdown.
Well, what are people doing that work for the federal government so far as groceries?
I work from home. We're all working from home. So we really don't see anyone. We really don't talk to anyone. We're just on our own on our computer working, which is sad because of COVID.
I thought you guys had to go back to work, the federal workers.
Well, not all of them. We are the disability office.
I see.
We're part of Social Security, but we're in the disability with the writers, attorney writers, and the judges. So it's devastating. It's depressing when we go to the office because there's only like 6 people in the office.
Well,
and
that's awful, and I feel bad for all of you guys. But, the thing is, what the Democrats are trying to do is try to force Trump to give health care benefits to illegals, to reopen the government.
And I disagree. I don't want that. I don't want to pay out. I have to pay for all that. I'm sick of it. And you know how much I pay out of pocket, out of my check, out of month? It's $800 for my insurance for family.
So who do you blame for this shutdown?
Oh, both of them actually. Obama started this, of course, and I hate that dude. I hate him. I despise that man.
Yeah.
He should never have been elected.
That's true.
I'm horrified what the insurance is going to be next year, and I hope. You know what? Trump should filibuster. All these Republicans should filibuster and close this thing now.
They should end this filibuster. They should end they should end the filibuster and just vote and do it. I mean, it's gonna. It eventually is gonna happen. I can't imagine they can go much longer like this. There's too many people that are doing without. I don't know I don't know why they're not doing that. Well, Trump has told them to do that. Trump has told them a couple of times to do that, and the Republicans haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Well, they better hurry because the Democrats will win if he doesn't. I've been on X just cut and paste with the filibuster his message from Trump. I've been cutting, pasting, and just sharing it with all the senators. I did call Chuck Schumer and said, please, open it. You're just stressing everybody out. Open it. Just open it. You already agreed to the stupid bill.
Yeah.
Just open it.
Exactly.
It's just, anyway.
Well, keep me.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
listen. Call me again sometime and update me as this develops.
Oh, sure. Will do. Thank you,
take
Brian.
care. All right, take care. She's a federal worker. Her and her husband, both federal workers, work for the Social Security Administration, haven't been paid in a month. There you go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Joey, calling from Libby, Montana.
All right, Joey in Montana. Hold on a second, Joey. Let me answer all these phones. You know what? Go ahead. You're on, Joey. What's on your mind?
So I have a question. I'm a Christian too. How long have you been a Christian, man?
Since the day I was born. I mean, all my life.
Nice, man. When did you get the idea to start doing debates and all that?
I don't know about that. I mean, I've been doing this for over 30 years, talk shows. Yeah.
Oh, nice, man.
Mm-hmm. So why'd you call me? What's on your mind?
So I was scrolling through YouTube, saw your live stream.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. Make sure you subscribe.
I saw a little bit of the last debate.
These aren't debates. This is a show. This is a show I host, the Brian Craig Show, and I take live calls. I guess it's a debate of sorts, but you know.
It was looking like a bit of a debate to me.
You can.
But so, is your intent with the show to convert people to Christianity or
no,
to get new believers?
No.
Gotcha. Okay. That's kind of the impression I got. So
well, watch more of the show. The show's about news and politics. And
gotcha.
and there's a crossover with religion. I would like everyone to be a Christian, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I guess
I'm not happy having a Muslim mayor in New York. If you want to know the truth, been talking about that a lot. I'm not happy with having a Muslim mayor in New York City, but
Oh yeah. No, you made a fine argument. But I saw that. And the impression I got was that you were debating kind of like religion and politics.
Well, there's a crossover. There's a crossover.
Gotcha.
There's a religious war going on in this country as well, a cultural war, a religious war. There's all kinds of battles going on.
But the thing that was on my mind, because I thought it was a debate, kind of getting new believers. But if your intention is to get new believers, I'd say you want to. I just when you were talking to the last guy, I didn't see much of the love of God in the when you called him would you say something about a brainless liberal?
He was he was a brainless liberal, but which was rather mild. That was rather mild compared to what he called me.
Still, we're supposed to represent Christ, and we're supposed to love our enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want new believers, we have to speak with love, man.
Yeah, well, sometimes love. You ever heard of tough love? That's what I got. Tough love.
That was not tough love, man.
Okay, whatever. It sounds like you're a little judgy. There, up there on your high holy post, and you're a little judging me there. What's the Bible tell us as Christians about judging others? All right, take care. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Colby. I'm from Florida.
Hey, Colby.
Hey, I wanted to make sure I got your name right. I haven't seen the show too much.
Oh, hold on one second. Let me answer these calls. Yeah, it's my name's an easy one. Brian Craig. That's me.
Brian Craig. All right, man. Well, hey, I have a question for you. I was listening to you for a little bit this morning, and more or less I heard your opinion on the government shutdown, and I'm a Democrat, just to come out, right?
Well, that's too bad for you. I feel sorry for you there.
I feel the same for you.
You seem like such a nice guy.
But, we are nice people. Anyway, it's besides the point. My point is that you're saying that it's a Democrat shutdown.
Correct.
That it's caused by the Democrats.
Correct.
All this other stuff.
Correct.
My question for you is this. There are probably only two solutions to our government shutdown. and that is what is currently being talked about. One is Trump talking about getting rid of the filibuster so that he can unilaterally decide to shut down the government shutdown and ignore the Democrats in government. And two, the Democrats' way would be that we guarantee health care for more than 14 million Americans. I'm going to ask you, out of the two options, either confirming that we are going to give health care to 14 million Americans or destroying the filibuster, what is your preferred way to get out of the government shutdown?
Well, very, very good question. Hold on. But the problem with the Americans, see, they're not talking about an American like you or me. They're talking, to the Democrats, a South American is an American. A Canadian is an American, okay? So when they talk about very correct. So when the Democrats are talking about Americans, they're not talking about United States of Americans necessarily. I think they should there's a third option he didn't mention, and that's Chuck Schumer can stop trying to get us to give health insurance to illegal aliens and go and vote in favor of this. That's a third option.
Okay, so hold on, Brian. Let's talk on that. Because what you just said is all Chuck Schumer needs to do is accept the clean CR, right?
Yep.
Except for that's not a clean CR, because that CR confirms that we are cutting Medicare for everyone, 14 million Americans included. It's not just illegal immigrants, my friend. And on top of that, can I ask you another question? Hold on. I'm going to let you go off, I promise. But my
you're
second
going to let
question
me
is this.
on my own show. Okay.
Well, hey, sorry, buddy. We're all just talking, right?
Go ahead.
My second question would be, do you think that emergency room doctors, nurses, that these people should be turning away illegal immigrants?
Yes.
All right.
In fact, unless it's a life-saving, unless it's a life-saving emergency. But when they come in there, and can you turn the volume down of whatever device you're listening to me on? There's a delay, so it's a little distracting. Yes. Now, obviously, if somebody gets hit by a bus or they've been shot or stabbed or something, we want to treat them. But that's not the average illegal into the emergency room. They use them as free clinics. Little runny nose, they run off to the ER. So, no, they should be turning people away that are illegal, that do not need life-saving treatment. That's correct. I believe so, yes.
Do you know where illegal health care funding comes from?
Federal.
It's not solely from the federal. It's not solely from the federal government.
A lot of it comes from the states, but the states.
No, sir.
Sure,
Go
it
ahead and
does.
guess again, because it's not the state or
I'm
the
not
Fed.
guessing. I am not. Excuse
charity.
me. I am not guessing.
Most of it comes from
No.
charity, my friend.
Nope.
That's what the hospitals do. They
Nope.
run charity services.
Nope.
Yes,
This is
they
not
do.
the.
Look it up.
This is.
Look it up live
I
on
don't
the
need to
stream.
look it
It's
up.
more than
I am.
70%.
Excuse me. Slow down. I don't have to look it up. I know. The way that this happens. Very funny. No, I'm a well-informed.
That is funny. That's the most bad
I am a well-informed, well-educated, well-read person.
Yeah.
So the way this happens is they use the Medicaid system. The states get reimbursed but prior to President Trump. The states were getting reimbursed from the federal government for the Medicaid coverage that they were giving to illegals, and President Trump has ended that. Charity. This isn't the 1800s. Very little charity is involved with paying for all this.
So let me ask you something then. If, let's say that everything you just said is true.
Which
right?
it is.
President Trump stopped it all, okay? So illegal gets hurt tomorrow. They can't go to the emergency room anymore? Like you just said, for emergency services, they're still going to require it.
Yeah.
The Fed is still going to pay
what's
a little
what's
bit of
happened?
that.
What's
But
happened?
Here's the difference also, my friend. Hold on.
Enough of
I'm
no,
sorry.
you hold on for a second. I want to comment on what you said. In the last few years, okay, I don't know exactly when this happened, but in the last 10 to 20 years at some point, hospital emergency rooms, they changed in the business model of the hospital emergency room. If I were to, I've had some skateboard accidents, right? I talk about it in one of my commercials. I go to the emergency room because I fall off my skateboard. They're running thousands of dollars on unnecessary tests, blood work, CAT scans, all this crap, and ringing up a bill because the government's going to reimburse them for it in their mind. Now, I don't have insurance, and I don't qualify for Medicaid or anything like that, so I have to pay out of pocket. But what happens with these illegals, they're uninsured, they show up to these emergency rooms and for minor things, and they run $5,000 to $10,000 worth of tests on them, and then they bill Medicaid, and Medicaid's been getting the state Medicaid systems have been getting reimbursed by the federal government. This has been going on. It's a big racket. But if an illegal gets hit by a bus, they'll get treated. But you can't go in there because you got the sniffles. Sorry, go to Walgreens, buy some Theraflu. All right, go ahead.
I mean, look. I don't want you to think that I'm crazy. I genuinely don't even totally disagree with what you're saying.
You're just a delusional liberal. You're just a delusional liberal who doesn't understand what's really happening.
Bro, I literally just said that I kind of agree with you, and you just called me delusional. Like, maybe let me finish a sentence before you start insulting. I know it's a part of like the MAGA shit where you have to attack before someone finishes a sentence. But do you want to let me finish, or do you just want to call me delusional?
Go ahead.
Somewhere?
Go ahead. Let's find out. Maybe I'm wrong.
Cool. I think you are. Yeah. My whole point that I was saying is, one, I agree that the medical system inside our country is horrific, right? But what I was going to say is, more than 50% of Americans already have medical debt because they're taking advantage of the medical system inside a very similar way to what you just described illegals doing, which is a lot of people go into emergency rooms and never pay back their medical debt.
Yes.
Who does that default onto? Who does that default onto?
The taxpayers. The taxpayers, too, yeah.
No, sir, it is not. No, it's
back to the charity. You're out of your mind.
You don't have to. There's charities that these hospitals run for the sole purpose.
The last time I went to the.
You're after me again.
I've had this experience. No, you made a point. I want to talk about it. The last time I went to the emergency.
What was my point? Go ahead and say my point.
No, I'm not going to repeat what you just said. It was heard. This charity thing. This.
Yeah, what about the charity thing?
Are you okay? The last time I went to the emergency room for myself, okay, it was for a skateboard accident. I was live streaming while I was skateboarding, and I fell because I wasn't paying attention. I fell hard. I go there, they run all these tests, and then the billing person comes to get my insurance information, and I said, I don't have insurance. They said, you don't have insurance? I said, no. They said, okay, we'll sign you up for Medicaid. I said, I'm not going to qualify. They said, yeah, you will. They started doing the paperwork. They asked me 2 questions. They said, you're right, you don't qualify. So what happened? I had this hospital bill. What do you think happened?
Pay out of pocket.
I paid out of pocket. There was no charity. I had to pay out of pocket. That's right.
But my friend, what you're missing there is if you decided not to pay that hospital bill, which more than 50% of Americans do with their medical bills because they cannot afford it, instead the debt defaults to the hospital, in which they.
You're out of your mind. No, what would have happened was it would have gone to collections, and it would have gone. Excuse me.
Can I finish a damn sentence?
No, you can't. No. You've said this.
Okay.
No.
Your ideas must be so right. That's why you just have to talk louder.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. No, if I would not have paid that bill, it would have gone to collections. Collections would have come after me, and if I didn't pay it, they would have sued me and put a lien on my house. I'm a homeowner.
Friend?
Yes. That's what happens.
You can think that, my friend, you can think that.
I know that.
More than 50% of Americans have more than $10,000 worth of medical
But they don't have, they don't have assets. I'm a homeowner, and I make a good living, so they'll come.
Yeah,
you can't get blood from a rock. If you're poor or you're an illegal, they got nothing to put a lien on. They could come after me because I make a good living and I own a home.
Hold on. You think that 50% of America doesn't even have a car that a bank could foreclose on? Like
they don't put liens. No, the collection. They don't put liens on your car.
Hold on,
no.
My friend. Can I finish my sentence now? Because what I was going to say is you're calling other people delusional when you're not aware of, one, hospital charity services that do cover most of the things that you're talking about.
BS.
Go and look it up live on stream. Dude,
BS.
Just prove me wrong. Pull it up on stream.
I don't have to prove you wrong. By the way, I appreciate the call. I'm not going to sit here and pull things up on the stream to prove you wrong. I do that just from the knowledge in my brain. They don't put liens on people's cars when they don't go. The car's not worth anything. Right? I live in Florida. My house is worth a lot of money. So they put liens on people and do collections on people like me. If I'm an illegal and I got nothing, you can't get blood from a rock. And these wonderful charities, I don't know what he's talking about with that. All right, we have a full board of calls. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
This Thanksgiving, make your celebrations unforgettable with Bavel.co. From stunning decor to elegant gifts, every piece adds style and warmth to your holiday. Discover BEVELLE.co today. Bring a spark of luxury and charm to every corner of your home with pieces designed to impress and delight. Don't wait. Make this Thanksgiving truly extraordinary at Bavel.co. Bavel.co. Make every moment thankful. Step into a world of style and sophistication at PopularFinds.shop. Every item is carefully chosen and rigorously tested to meet the highest standards. Check out POPULARFINDS.shop today. From luxurious fashion and curated decor to exquisite gifts, every piece is made to impress at PopularFinds.shop. Shop with confidence, bring elegance home, and make every moment special with PopularFinds.shop. PopularFinds.shop. Style, quality, confidence delivered. Looking for luxury you can trust? Havira.com has you covered. Discover high-end furniture, modern decor, and premium lifestyle tech. Each item crafted for style, quality, and lasting value at Havira.com. Enjoy incredible deals paired with customer service that goes above and beyond. Just type HOVIRA.com. Havira.com makes shopping effortless, rewarding, and unforgettable. Experience it for yourself. Havira.com. Luxury, value, service perfected. Luxury isn't just for humans. Discover PetsyPlace.com, where comfort meets innovation for your pets. Explore PetsyPlace.com today and treat your furry friend to the finer things in life. From designer pet beds and smart feeders to premium accessories, every detail is made to impress at PetsyPlace.com. PetsyPlace.com, because luxury has four paws.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast. Every line on the board is lit, and we got a lot of phone lines, guys, a lot, and they're all lit. So I'm going to go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Jocelyn. I'm calling from California.
Hey, what's up?
I just got off my shift from a hospital that was started from a charity. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the largest hospitals globally. I don't understand why these people are so freaking retarded. Charities cannot provide the financial reimbursement to a hospital for the services that are provided to individuals that cannot pay.
Exactly.
If you come in there and you require a hospital visit via the emergency because it's federal law that they cannot turn you away, you end up having a social worker come by and end up signing you up for Medicaid or for any of the state medical services. Then on top of that, depending upon how much you owe, they end up offering you food. And then they find out what situation you're in, and they can also assist you with housing. Now, I'm sorry, but that's not what the services were meant for. They were meant for individuals that were in need, preferably short-term, unless you are disabled or you are elderly.
Yes.
And FYI, those charities are not meant for, like I said, the incredible amount of people that end up utilizing the ER, while individuals who have insurance or who have Obamacare are waiting for hours to be serviced. On top of that, Obama screwed us. Why is it that these people are so retarded? Like, literally, you end up creating a system that you know is going to fail.
Yeah.
And then you end up surprised when the bill comes due. Why are people going up to Obama going, what the hell did you do?
Well, the caller's under this impression that when you go to the hospital and you don't have insurance, there's a nice charity worker that just writes a check and covers the thousands of dollars of the medical expenses you just racked up. I've never seen that happen in my life.
to say this, Brian. There is a portion that is charitable, but do you know who ends up qualifying for that?
Who?
It's people that can't qualify for all of these low income that they can't qualify because they make too much money.
That's right.
They're self-paid. And visiting me in my ER, you're looking at $5,000 to get a freaking aspirin. These people have lost their minds. The point that makes me mad, really upset, is that Republicans do not know how to win. And I'm not talking about Trump or the members of his direct cabinet. It's the individuals that are in that freaking Congress that do not know how to win. That's so upsetting because it's causing other individuals that have nothing to do with this pain.
No,
and
you're
that's
right.
the part that really upsets me.
No, you're right.
Otherwise, because he's having to fix all of this stuff. I mean, if you start doing it, it's just a snowball. These people don't get it. And it's so upsetting. He needed to get the filibuster taken care of so that he could end up getting the agenda that he ended up saying to us for years.
Yeah.
For 2 terms, he's been saying the same exact thing. So the filibuster would have been able to handle it. And to be quite honest, with Oz in there and with Kennedy, they could literally come up with a program that is much better. And also, if we weren't spending so much money, we're in my state, $8.1 billion.
Crazy.
On illegal aliens, we're in the hole. Anyway,
Crazy.
I'm sorry. I got excited.
I got a full board of calls. I took a call at random, and it just happened to be somebody that knows how hospitals work. So that was what are the odds of that after that call? Appreciate the call. We'll talk again. All right, take care. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, hi, my name is Ken. I'm calling from Florida.
All right, Ken in Florida. What's on your mind?
I've been listening to the show the last 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
I just heard that last person that was on, the guy that was laughing and talking over you, losing his temper. I am a conservative. I moved down to Florida. I used to live in New England, and I find more like-minded folks down here. So I feel better about a lot of things. But anyways, I'm pushing 70 years old, and what I found is a lot of people that guy's age group. I have a theory of how they end up that way and where they come from. Do you mind if I just go over it quick?
Yeah, I just try to be clean in your language.
Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do what he did.
No, go ahead.
I work for a company. I've been in sales for 45 years. I've been in thousands of homes in different industries, and what I found is a lot of these companies you work for have telesales, and they have the salespeople. Mm-hmm. And what I learned a long time ago was they try to keep these people segregated, the sales from the telemarketers, because they teach these people limited information. And it was to the point where you got to be a little more relevant than kind of pick up the pace and get to the topic at hand. I got a lot to cover and got a lot of callers on hold. This sounds like it'll take too long. I was trying to be considerate. Liberals, they get their information from liberal sources, whether it's a college professor or Rachel Maddow, and they think they have a lot of knowledge, and they really have a lot of misinformation. That's exactly what I was going to do. Yeah. They think and I've had a situation in my family about 8 years ago. My niece came over. We met at a birthday party, and she called me a racist. Oh, my goodness. What are you talking about? She says, you're a racist. You support Trump. And I said, I got very offended. Yeah. I told her, first of all, you're indoctrinated and you're brainwashed. If you knew what I knew, about how things work, the government, and what's going on, you would think like I do. Yes. And she didn't talk to me for like 6-7 years, and we finally got together in Florida at a vacation home, and she totally turned around. She finally saw what I was. We started to think the same. What happened? She got married. She had a couple of kids, and she finally grew up.
Well, yeah, she grew up and started living life and saw reality. Hey, listen, you're new to the program. Yeah, I'm in Florida too, so welcome, and make sure you subscribe.
Okay, man.
What part of Florida are you in?
Port St. Lucie.
Oh, okay. You're within the listening range of my radio stations. You can catch me on the radio in Port St. Lucie. Yeah. All right. Take care. Appreciate it.
I subscribe.
All right. Take care. All right. Nice. Let's see here. I'm losing track of who's next. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's Brian. I'm from Cottonwood Heights, Utah.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Hey. Yeah, so I know you were talking to the last caller. Thanks for having me, by the way. Appreciate it. I was talking to the last caller about health care, although I didn't catch the end of it. So I just was hoping we could continue on with that discussion, if that's all right.
I guess you sound like you're friends. You want to finish where he left off? Go ahead.
No. I just honestly, I didn't think he was a very good. I didn't really agree with him.
Okay.
And I think he was coming out from a different angle and perspective than I would.
Well, yeah. Okay. He was coming off from a lack of information and thinks he knows a lot. But anyway, so what's on your mind?
Yeah. Well, okay. So what I wanted to talk about really is that the focus. I think that the discussion, conservative Trump and the Republican Party want to shift this discussion about healthcare to illegal immigration. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, illegal immigration is Trump's best issue, politically speaking. So he's still underwater on immigration. He's got a -5 approval rating overall on immigration.
No, he doesn't.
But
maybe with liberals. No, he doesn't. People that, President Trump won, last year the president won the popular vote. He won every battleground state, turned a whole bunch of blue counties red in places like California. And if among Republican voters, he's doing incredibly well. You factor in people that hate him, they still hate him, yeah. But no, he's doing very well. And so far as the Medicare with the illegals, yeah. They were giving Medicaid to millions of illegals illegally. And this shutdown is in large part what it's about. What the Democrats wanted to replace the American people with South American people for future elections. And that's it. And they want to keep them here with Section 8 housing and Medicaid and SNAP benefits and everything else and be retired just as long as they show up every 2 years to vote for them. And President Trump has ended that. So the Democrats are in a panic because that's the only future they see of survival for their corrupt, sick, twisted Democrat Party, which you support
I guess that's,
for some reason.
Well, I mean,
as a Democrat, the new mayor of New York.
I'm a Democrat.
Please, I knew you were a Democrat as soon as you started. What are you?
I'm a registered Republican.
Registered Republican is not the same as being a MAGA supporting conservative. I can go register as a Democrat Monday. Doesn't mean I'm a liberal.
Okay.
And what you said,
Okay, so I would like to continue on with what
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would, but go ahead.
So I mean, we can have a discussion about illegal immigration, which is, I think, a separate discussion, right? So you want to talk about illegal immigration because that's what you're comfortable talking about.
I'm not talking about illegal immigration. We were talking about.
You are.
We were talking about SNAP benefits and welfare fraud, and a lot of the fraud in our social welfare system is done through the illegals, through Medicaid. That is, yes.
Okay. How do you know what percentage of Medicaid spending goes to non-citizens?
Nobody knows. That's an unknown.
Okay.
And the reason we don't know, the reason we don't know is because there's so much fraud. See, what President Trump has done when it comes to Medicaid, he's not cut Medicaid off from any American. He's cut that's deserving.
The Big Beautiful Bill Act has for sure done that.
What the big see what I told you, you're a liberal. What the big beautiful bill did was cut Medicaid fraud. Some of it was illegal. Some of it was Americans committing fraud. You know, like these fatsos I'm seeing on TikTok that are getting snapped their whole life. That's fraud.
Okay, I gotta say that you just saying that I'm a liberal isn't really a good argument. It's called an ad hominem attack. It doesn't really refute what I'm saying. And
no, you're doing that yourself.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates in 2024 that total Medicaid spending on non-citizens was $27 billion, which accounts for less than 1% of total Medicaid spending for that year. So they can there's an accounting, they can see how much money they're spending, and they can see which is going to U.S. citizens and which is going to non-U.S. citizens. $27 billion of it is going to non-citizens. That is less than 1%. Okay? Is illegal immigration a problem? Yes. I'm not disputing that. Do we need to control our borders? Yes. Every country in the world does that. Did Joe Biden do a terrible job doing that? Yes. All those things are true. But the fact is, though, that this illegal immigration line of argument is a distraction.
No, it's not.
It's a distraction.
Excuse me. No, what was going? Okay, hold on. During the Biden era and Obama era, those presidencies, tens of millions of foreigners were brought into this country illegally. Over 20 million illegals were brought here illegally. Illegals were brought here during the during the Biden administration. And they set them up in places like Springfield, Ohio. They give them, and New York City, they give them free housing. They give them food stamps. They give them, in some instances, a cash amount through a debit card system every month. They give them phones and they set them up. A lot of it's done, most of it's done through fraud. So far as the Congressional Budget Office and all this stuff, that's just a lot of creative, fraudulent accounting that they do to explain things away.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay, fine. We can get into debate about the specifics and get into the weeds about the numbers and the validity of the numbers. But the fact is that regardless of what the Congressional Budget Office is saying or what you think, and I will say this: it's difficult to have a informed debate when we can't agree on a basic set of facts, which is sort of a problem generally with our discourse these days. But I mean, the fact remains that yes, again, illegal immigration is a problem, and it's a problem throughout our society, okay? I think that it's not as big a problem as you do. So
of course, because you're a liberal.
I don't think that
because you're a liberal.
Okay, and you're a conservative.
That's right. I'm MAGA.
What is that?
That's right.
Yes.
Well, because see, this is the thing. See, what was going on with the illegals, okay? The illegals that were being brought in this country were being brought in for a number of reasons. One of them was the replacement of Americans with a group of people that would vote Democrat.
Theory.
No, it's true.
That's a conspiracy theory.
No, just because it's a conspiracy doesn't mean it's untrue.
And just because you say it's true doesn't mean that it is.
Oh, it is. That's exactly why that's why we have people like Ilhan Omar and Mamdani that get elected to office is through this stuff, right? Like in New York City, there's no voter ID necessary, right? So they got a lot of they've been packing New York City with illegals for years, and then all of a sudden, you get Mamdani elected where there's no voter ID. That's how they do it. Okay, that's how they do it.
Did they have voter ID when Ronald Reagan was elected? Was that fraudulent?
What do you mean when Ronald Reagan was elected? In 1980, we didn't have as many illegals. We didn't have as many illegals. I don't know what the New York voting laws were in 19. I don't know what the voter laws in New York were in 1980 and 1984, but we didn't have as many illegals in the country then.
Okay.
Okay, so it was a different country. Okay, in my state, you need ID, but the Democrats, like Governor Newsom in California, have also been giving illegals driver's licenses. And to register to vote, where voter ID is required, all you need is a driver's license, which has no information about citizenship on it. So the Democrats have been giving driver's licenses to illegals so that they could vote for them all over the country. And this is what they were doing.
I mean, when you register to vote, you have to assert that you are a U.S. citizen. Now, of course, people can fraudulently.
That's correct. They lie. Yes, they lie.
Okay. Well, okay. So again, I mean, we could have a debate about illegal immigration.
Why do you think it's okay for Biden to bring over 20 million illegals into the country? Because that's what he did.
I would debate that number, but
what 5 million? Many of them rapists and murderers.
Okay. I mean, there's plenty of rapists and murderers in the U.S. that are American.
Well, that doesn't mean you want more of them coming in from south of the border. What does that mean? So you want more of them? We have room for more rapists and murderers?
You wanted to shift the discussion to illegal immigration.
Listen, I gotta run for a break, but
of course you do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
you do.
I'm a capitalist. I'm not some commie liberal like you. We gotta take a break. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. We'll be right back.
Where artistry meets innovation, Estalis.com redefines modern living. From luxury furniture to statement decor and designer accents, every piece transforms spaces into works of art. Visit Estallis.com and explore sophistication built to inspire. Step into a world where creativity and craftsmanship become one. Only at Estalis.com. Estalis.com. Designed for the extraordinary. Take a moment to pour back into yourself. At Studio 1125, peace begins at the crown. Studio 1125 is a luxury holistic head spa in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Inspired by Proverbs 11:25, those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Studio 1125 services focus on gentle cleansing, deep conditioning, and scalp wellness using clean, plant-based ingredients. There's no chemicals, no styling, just care designed to help you slow down, breathe, and reconnect. Step into a space where stillness meets luxury, where your scalp is nourished, your spirit is lifted, and your peace is restored. Studio 1125, a calm escape for your scalp and spirit. Join the community on Instagram at Studio 1125. That's the number 11, Studio 1125, and book your time of rest and renewal at their Palm Beach Garden Studio. Online at Studio 1125 at glossgenius.com. They linger in old houses, echo through graveyards, whisper between fact and fear. True Haunting Files is the podcast where history meets horror, and the truth is never what it seems. Join host Lucian V. Crow as he reopens the world's most infamous cases. From Amityville, murder, haunting, hoax, to Elm Street Was Real, the deaths that inspired a nightmare. Every episode of True Haunting Files takes you deep into the shadows, separating legend from what really happened. True Haunting Files is available on all podcast platforms. Tune in now, because the past doesn't rest, and neither should your curiosity. True Haunting Files with host Lucian V. Crow, available wherever you get your podcast. Ever feel like you need a holiday from your holiday? You're not alone. In fact, 89% of Americans say Christmas stresses them out. The money, the drama, the guilt trips, the glitter. It's supposed to be a joyful time, but somehow it always turns into a marathon of exhaustion. Now available on Amazon comes your must-read step-by-step rescue plan. No More Bad Christmas. No More Bad Christmas isn't some fluffy just to be grateful book. This one's the real deal. Practical and laugh out loud relatable. When you read No More Bad Christmas, you'll learn how to say no without guilt, how to set boundaries that actually stick, learn to handle family chaos with grace, and finally, stop trying to make everything perfect, because this year, you don't need another meltdown under the mistletoe. You need peace, presence, and permission to do the holidays your way. No More Bad Christmas. Practical Ways to Rescue the Holidays is available right now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Take Christmas back and give yourself the gift of sanity. No More Bad Christmas. Order your copy right now.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast. Make sure you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. And, of course, you can catch the Brian Craig Show podcast wherever you get podcasts. Just search for the Brian Craig Show. I'll pop up. If you want to catch the show live in video form and call in or hear me or see me as well, because I do the video podcast as well on YouTube. Just search Brian Craig Show on YouTube or YouTube Music. All right, to the phones we go back to. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
I'm from North Carolina.
Ricky in North Carolina. What's on your mind? Turn down the volume of the computer. There's a delay. So.
Okay. First of all, let me say, you mega, right?
Absolutely. Proudly. For life.
You mega, right?
Turn down the volume of the computer, man. There's a delay. You got to listen on your phone.
Hold on. I'm about to turn it down.
All right, turn it down, then walk me down your garden path of liberal delusions.
Okay, I'm
yes.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm a Democrat.
No kidding.
And,
I'm shocked.
Okay, I'm a little nervous. This is my first time ever being on here.
I get it.
First thing I want to say, I consider myself, me and my girl and my daughter. My daughter, she's young, she's 6. We work every day, work 40 hours a week.
Awesome.
Work overtime. We work everything else.
That's great.
We work, and I think a lot of people like you so out of touch with the way the system really go with the SNAP benefits and all that, this and that. I consider myself as poor, and it's more poor people than rich people. Mm-hmm. There's more poor people than middle class.
Of course. Well,
we cannot.
Yeah.
We cannot even get on. We cannot even get on no SNAP. We would not be qualified for no SNAP. We cannot get no.
Yeah, you work too much. Yeah, you work too much. You earn too much. Yeah.
Even if we don't work too much, we cannot get none of that.
Yeah.
I don't think y'all don't know. I don't think y'all really is so out of touch. You don't know the qualifications to get on that. To get on that, either you got to be old and retired. Most of the people that get that, they old.
In theory, if you look in theory,
my mother get it.
In theory, you're correct.
She get $160.
You are in theory, you're correct, but there are many millions of people who know how to con the system, and they're getting benefits that they shouldn't be getting, and they get them for life.
And I like the other guy that was on there, just like you. You talk with a lot of your feelings. You don't have no receipts to back it up. And like I respect your podcast. I look at it and it had me intrigued. The stuff you say, it's just coming off feelings. Like if you really talk to somebody that was a Democrat that with a podcast, like a lot of these people I'll be looking at, they would really eat you up. And I get it. You're trying to start out. You're trying to make your platform, build it up.
No, I've been doing this show. Excuse me. I've been doing this show exactly like I'm doing it now for 35 years. In the exact same way. No liberal's going to tear me. I take live calls every day. Liberals are welcome to call in. I'm curious about you. Why is an African American a Democrat? You know, the Democrats used to own black people. I'm curious. Why is an African American gentleman like yourself a Democrat?
Because it's America. I choose to vote whoever I want to vote.
I know, but why would you? Hold on. But you're supporting the party of Jim Crow and slavery and segregation.
Another thing like that is because let me tell you something. Reason why I vote Democrat, because I get it. If I was rich, I probably would vote Republican because y'all protect rich people. Republicans protect rich people, not middle class.
No. In fact, slow down. Save your question. I want to respond to what you just said. You said if you were rich, you'd be Republican. See, the opposite's true. President Trump. Hold on a second. Hold on. President Trump passed the big beautiful bill a couple months back. He gave
about that bill.
Oh yeah, if you get tips, no taxes. Huge tax cut for people on Social Security. You said that you work a lot of overtime. No tax. He cut the taxes on your overtime. He put a lot of money in your pocket. President Trump's tax cuts benefit hardworking people like you that work overtime. The Democrats voted against that. And President Trump passed a bill. He signed it into law so that you don't have to pay taxes on your overtime anymore.
But you heard of something? You heard of a saying go like what we say down south. I'm gonna show you what the left hand doing, but you don't know what the right hand doing because he only showing you one thing. He's showing this beautiful thing in front of you, but at the same time, he's taking away a lot, and especially with that.
What is he taking? What's he taking from you? What is he taking from you? What is he taking from you? What is he taking from you?
He want to pass this bill. See, let me tell you how a lot of people like me think, especially I'm Black African American.
I know. That's why I
just think
brought
like,
it up.
what's the use of me voting? I was like, because it ain't gonna affect me none. It's not gonna affect me at all. Even if I vote Democrat, I can't get none of the benefits.
No, you did. President Trump, you told me that you and your daughter work overtime. You said you and your daughter work overtime.
No, I say I have a 6-year-old daughter.
Oh, you have a 6-year-old. Okay, you said you and your daughter's mother work overtime. You no longer have to pay taxes on your overtime because of Trump's big, beautiful bill. Think of it. That's a great thing he did for you.
No, he haven't did nothing yet.
Yes, the big, beautiful bill. No taxes on overtime.
Trump the same. Let me tell you something about Trump. Every Christian say, Trump, he speaks God, he's God chosen one. He speaks God brought Trump down here to speak to us. Trump, the same person, said, I don't think I will make it in heaven. There's no way I'll make it there. You know what I'm saying? And it's the truth. He the same person that went in front of the White House the first time he became president and trying to speak about the Bible, and he on the Bible upside down. I mean, come on, man. Come on. This guy is
are you grateful that you and your wife no longer have to pay taxes on all that overtime you work because of President Trump?
I still pay taxes. I'm always gonna pay taxes.
Not on your overtime. No taxes on overtime.
I don't believe that. You know how many lies Trump say? And I'm pretty sure
it was passed. Trump never lies. It was passed in the law. It was part of the big, beautiful bill.
This is why I say you're going off your feelings.
These are not my feelings. I have a brain that has a lot of in it.
No, you don't, because you're going off your feelings. You're not going off.
Everyone knows that there were no taxes on overtime was in the big, beautiful bill. So, everybody knows it. No tax on tips, no taxes on overtime. He passed it and signed it into law.
Can I repeat this again? Did you just say Trump do not lie?
Correct. I've never known him to tell a lie.
Oh my gosh! I don't know.
Give me an example. What's the most recent lie he's told?
What is Trump gonna do? What is Trump gonna do for like a lot of?
What's the most recent lie that he's told? Give me his lie.
I never could understand. I never could understand poor white people say, "I'm MAGA. I'm voting for Trump." I'm like, you just as broke as me. You just as poor as me. He's not doing nothing for you. He's not doing anything for you.
You don't have to pay taxes on your overtime. You and your wife anymore. He did that for you.
So when it happens, because it haven't happened. You say you put that in that big beautiful bill.
It's in the big beautiful bill. But when you pay your taxes for this year at the beginning of the year, you're not going to have to pay taxes on that income as part of your income. You haven't done your taxes for this year yet. You do your taxes after the first of the year.
He the same. Let me tell you something. He the same person said he want to give all the money to the people up top, right? So
no, he didn't say that. No, he didn't say that.
Listen,
Democrats.
He figured. No, he said it his first term, and he
was giving
all that money, and he was like, the money gonna trickle down. It's gonna open up more jobs. It's gonna open up more this and that. And then another thing with these tariffs, we ain't paying for that.
You know the Democrat Party. Do you know the Democrat Party that you support was also the party of the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK?
Come on, man. I already know that.
Well, why would you be a part as an African American? Why would you be a part of such an organization?
And at that same time, it was only one party then. Yeah.
No, there were two parties. No, there was the Democrat and the Republican Party.
Well, on this age, he had slaves too. George Washington, he had slaves.
George Washington wasn't a Republican.
I don't care, but he had slaves. So we were talking about back then. So we're gonna talk about all that.
You know who was a Republican? Frederick Douglass, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. They were Republicans.
Yeah, back then the Democrats was that. That's true. That's true. But then
George Washington Carver.
You got people like what's his name, Nixon, the Nixon era, and all this and that. Man, that was hard. That was horrible for black people, and still to this day.
What did Nixon do that was horrible to black people? What did Nixon do? Excuse me. What did Richard Nixon do that was horrible to black people?
He did a lot.
What? Well, pick out his worst crime to blacks. What's the worst thing he did to blacks? All right, appreciate the call. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Remember they used to say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. It sure is. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, Booker T. Washington, another Republican.
Yes.
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, howdy. I'm from California. Don't wish to give my name.
Okay.
I am an independent, though. I just had a couple questions for you. Two particular ones. One of them was, what is your opinions on First Amendment auditing?
Oh, you mean those guys? You mean those guys on YouTube? Yeah, those guys on YouTube that film. I think that's cool. I love it. I watch a lot of that stuff.
Oh,
I love that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did
I make my
hear about
living
what
by the
happened
first.
to-
I make my living by the First Amendment right now. This is the first. You know. Yeah.
God bless First
Are
Amendment.
you one of those guys? I love those guys. Yeah, those First Amendment. There's one guy, I don't know the name of his channel. He exclusively stands in front of these legal marijuana places. Oh, those are the best. They freak out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I love
If
those.
you happen to, what's it called? Remember the channel name? I'd like to hear it.
What
But,
is it?
right
There's
now I'm
one guy
watching,
that it's a 2-word name. There's another guy I watch. He's got him and his son go around America. It's a 2-word thing. The first word starts with an A. The second word's a press. I can't remember the name of the.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Never mind. I was thinking of Press NH, but no.
Something press.
I think
Yeah,
something
no,
different.
I love those First Amendment auditors. I love that. Yeah, yeah. Why do you ask?
That's good. I mean,
why would you ask that?
I'm asking because how do you say it? There's a.
Oh,
I
I'm
feel
a
like
okay.
they get
I'm a
lot
guy.
done.
I'm not sure how to. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but somebody in the chat told me. Amagansett Press. AMAGANSET Press. Yeah, I love that guy. He was. Oh yeah,
right.
I love it when the cops show up. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, and then like they de-escalate the situation, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's hilarious. Yeah, I love the First Amendment auditors. Yeah, that's one of the best
You
things
ever,
on YouTube. Next to me.
There's a guy. This dude. No, but there's a guy on YouTube right now named Long Island Audit and stuff, and I was wondering if you're at all familiar with him. Because,
Maybe. I don't know all these channel names. I might be. Yeah. Why is that you?
That guy from New York. Excuse me.
Is that you?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not me. I wish.
Yeah. It takes
But,
those guys
I was
take a
just
lot of.
curious-
I like it when they go in the government buildings, like these First Amendment auditors. They're in these government. Sometimes it's a police station. Sometimes it's a post office, and the government workers and the cops. You can't be here. Yes, I can. They freak. It's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. I've done that when they tried kicking me out of a public library once for recording and stuff.
Yes.
But it's perfectly legal. I mean, under the First Amendment.
Yeah.
But
I
I
love
was
those
just curious about your opinion on it because I feel like it gets a lot done. You know what I mean? You go in there and stuff, and you check to see if they're aware of people's rights and stuff. And a lot of corrupt politicians don't like it when you go in there and stuff. And right now, I'm not sure if you heard about that mayor from what was it, Illinois, I believe, Tiffany Henyard. She was being investigated by this Long Island audit fellow, and he exposed her. She's a Democrat. Mm-hmm. I'm an independent, like I said. But
most people. It's really strange to me. They think that you have to have written permission from them to film them in a public place, and you don't. If you're in public, you're open.
You're in public. You have no expectation of privacy in public.
No, and I think they do a good job. All of those First Amendment guys, they do those First Amendment auditors, they do a very good job educating the public on how free this great country is.
I'm glad you agree with me on that.
Well, did you think that I wouldn't? Did you think that I wouldn't? Because it's an odd question to call and ask me about.
No. I was just curious. I came in with zero expectations.
Okay.
I didn't know if you were going to approve
I love
it or
those
not.
guys. Okay, so what's your next question? You had a second question. What was that?
Yeah, my second question was, what do you think about potentially having the people vote on Supreme Court justices?
No. That's a terrible idea.
No, you don't think so? Why not?
No. Well, the Constitution isn't set up that way. Right? The
Yeah,
Constitution, I like having the presidential appointments. No, I'm not in favor of that.
I feel like, unfortunately, because of the fact that the president and I think Congress also appoint justices.
See, the problem would be with this, okay? Like you would have somebody say they're a Republican, right? And then they're up for re-election, right? Well, they may rule in favor of abortion because they're up for re-election and they want to get some demo and to vote for them. You know, I don't know. The way it is not perfect, but it's better than that.
it seems like to me that would be a double-edged sword because how do you say it? Yes, you can have a person that's running for Republican Party that is pro-abortion, but at the same time, if the Supreme Court justices do things that we don't like, they're up to public scrutiny and we can vote them out.
No.
I
don't support that.
We can't vote them out if
well, listen, I got a full board of calls, so I'm going to move on. But welcome to the show, and make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, take care. For those that don't know about the First Amendment auditors, I'll just tell you what they are. There's a million channels that do this on YouTube, so you can just search the First Amendment audit, and some of them are better than others. So if you come on, it's like anything else, right? It's like me. I'm tops at what I do, but not everybody's this good. There's some that are better than others. But what they do is they're these First Amendment auditors. They're YouTubers that they go to businesses, government buildings, police stations, liquor stores, and they stand out in public and they just stand there and film. And people freak out because they think that it's illegal to film people in public when you're in public spaces, and it's a lot of fun to watch if you find the right channel. Not all channels are great, and the Amagaset Press, they're one of the bigger channels and more well known, and it's a father and son, and the father's got a beard, and they're one of the better ones, and it's pretty funny. And the guy's got balls of steel. He they call the police. He stands up to the cops, and it's true reality TV if you watch YouTube on TV. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Clint. I'm from Houston, Texas.
All right, Clint, hold on. Let me answer all the calls that are coming in. All right, Clint, what's on your mind?
Just, the big, beautiful bill, I just don't think it's that beautiful. It
okay.
basically is like, it's making all the tax cuts for the rich people, like, permanent, giving temporary tax credits for overtime.
Well, not all of that. When you talk about the overtime, the problem is to get things passed, sadly, you need Democrats, and they had to make some concessions. So the no tax on tips and overtime isn't permanent yet, and it wasn't permanent in the big, beautiful bill, but they're still there.
Right. And, well, I'm like a salary worker. I get bonuses. They're still taxing the shit out of those. So if you're a salary
well,
person,
I got to pay taxes, too. I pay, I'm an independent business person. So not only do I have to pay my federal taxes, I have to pay my payroll taxes, 100% of them. I don't have an employer to match them, So, sadly, this is why you want to support President Trump, because, you're talking about the taxes on your bonus. You're in Texas, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm in Florida. So in Texas and Florida, we don't have state income tax. We have federal income tax, but not state income tax, which is super cool. What President Trump's goal is to eliminate the income tax totally for everyone and fund the country on the tariffs. And that's what he's moving to do. And so that we don't have to worry about these petty taxes. We won't have to pay them anymore if Trump gets his plan through.
Right, and I think the tariffs just went through the Supreme Court. I think they are going to let the tariffs keep going.
Well, yeah, it's part of the presidential powers. So when president, in the next presidential election or two, like 28, 32, and in the next 2-3 presidential elections, one of the biggest issues will be the elimination of the income tax totally. That's how the country used to run. The whole country used to be funded on tariffs. That's why they're ridding so much government waste, the Medicaid for the illegals, Doge, all this stuff. That's one of the reasons they're doing that. The government's paying for so much fraud. And he's paying off the deficit. Once the deficit is paid off, which it will be, and that'll be the next big move.
Who's paying the tariffs, though?
Well, the foreign countries are companies based in other countries.
Well, they're not paying them. The importers pay them and pass it on to us.
Yeah. Well, no. Walmart has said, which is the biggest retailer in the United States, they have eaten the tariffs. They've talked about this. They have not raised their prices to cover the tariffs. But there's no tariffs on the goods that are made in the United States. There are no tariffs. So the other thing President Trump is doing, is bringing companies, businesses, and manufacturers back to the United States, which is happening too. So there's no tariffs on those goods. Part of the reason of the tariffs is not just to do away with income tax. Another reason is to get manufacturing back into the United States, which is happening as well. And there's no tariffs on that.
Right. Yeah, we need more manufacturing here, but I still think they could keep up. And with automation the way it is, I don't think it's going to be a bunch of jobs anyway.
Well, whatever. But President Trump's doing it, but it can't happen in 9 or 10 months. This is a long-term thing, moving factories here and everything else. We're at the beginning of a process.
Right. What about, you brought up Walmart a little bit. Walmart, they're one of the biggest welfare employers everywhere, where their workers make so little that most of their workers are on SNAP benefits.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of them are, yeah. And they make a lot of money taking the SNAP too.
Right.
Yeah.
What are we going to do to get employers to pay a decent wage so we can?
It's America. It's America. I mean, people are going to pay whatever they can get away with. The employers are going to pay as little as they can pay. That's business.
So you agree we should raise the minimum wage?
No. Well, no. I've never earned minimum wage. My first paying job, I never earned minimum. I've always earned more than minimum wage.
Right.
I don't even know what minimum wage is anymore. When I first started working, it was $3.35 an hour. I don't know what it is, but when I'm driving around and I see what McDonald's pays at the drive-thru and all, they pay like starting at $12 an hour. That seems above minimum wage to me. Chipotle and all that stuff seems above minimum wage. Minimum wage jobs are for the lowest skilled jobs out there, jobs that require no skills, that somebody can get hired and start doing instantly, that doesn't require skills or much training.
What do you think? Does Trump have a plan for when AI starts taking white-collar jobs eventually?
It already is. I saw Amazon's doing a bunch of layoffs for it. That's how it is. Since any time there's an invention, when whoever invented the wheel, man, put some people out of work that used to carry crap around. You know what I mean? Every new invention, things change. Like I remember, there used to be a lot of people that collected tolls on the toll roads. None of that. There's no toll. They don't have those jobs anymore, right? It's all done electronically. You drive through a thing. You got a thing on your car. Anytime there's new technology, things change. You just gotta, like I work in radio and have my whole life, but I worked in radio before the internet existed, right? And I saw what was going on with the internet and podcast and live streaming and YouTube, so I expanded into that realm, right? So I do both.
Right.
So when there's you've got to adapt if you're,
Right. I just wonder if there's enough room for people to adapt if it's going to wipe out as many jobs.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, sure. I mean, look, like I work on radio, do a radio show every weekday morning, Monday through Friday in Morning Drive. Radio's old, man. People have been doing radio for like 100 years. And there's all kinds of things that have popped up, podcasts, live streaming, and everything else, so I adapt.
So why are we making Argentina great again?
Okay, so we're done with that. You're going to move on. What do you mean? Well, you want Argentina to do well because they're in our hemisphere, and we want South America to be a thriving economy so that these illegals will stop coming here. But when you talk about Argentina, what are you referencing in particular? I'm confused.
I think now it's $40 billion we're sending to Argentina.
No, we're not giving $40 billion to Argentina. That's not true. The United States, that's not true. We're not giving Argentina 40 cents. We're giving them nothing. I'll tell you what we're really doing if you're interested.
What's that?
So I'm not giving you a hard time for thinking that because the liberal media have been reporting that lie. So, a lot of people think that it's true. What we did was this. President Trump and he did this with a condition. President Trump has bought $20 billion worth of Argentinian pesos to help stabilize their currency. They just had an election down there, and he agreed to buy $20 billion in Argentinian pesos if Milei's party won the election, which they did. Immediately, those pesos increased in value, so President Trump made like $1 billion, maybe $2 billion already. We didn't give them anything. President Trump made a $20 billion investment that's already increased in value. The other Milei wanted $40 billion. The other $20 billion he's trying to secure through loans from banks.
Got it. What's the?
I can't be here all day answering all your questions. Okay, I'm not the information man, but I appreciate. Welcome to the program, and make sure you subscribe. Okay, take care. Lonely guy with lots of questions, but. Life moves on. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll go back to the phones. There's one opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. Don't go anywhere. I want to tell everyone about Dr. Appleton. Listen, Dr. Appleton, I was talking to him over the weekend. I went and saw him on Saturday, and he was explaining to me in more detail. It was the only time I'd gone to see him where I had not hurt myself or was in pain. I went to record some new commercials that will starting next week on the radio. And usually I'm over there, I'm in so much pain, I'm just, Doc, I just need the treatment, But he explained to me in more detail about the laser and what it does. And in particular, he was using my knee as an example. I had 30 years of suffering of knee pain from a car accident. He treated me twice, pain's gone, hasn't returned over 3 years later. Dr. Appleton's laser isn't just any old laser, it's a robotic laser. And what it does, it moves around the entire area where the pain, he's able to determine where the pain's coming from. And the robotic laser moves around the entire area of the body. So with my knee as an example, it treated the top, the sides, and even the backside of my knee. The entire knee, all the way around, 360, all got treated with the laser. And that's how it is on everything he treats you with. I didn't realize that before. It's amazing. The laser actually repairs the damage that's causing the pain. That's why the pain doesn't return. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. There's no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Not only is it completely painless, you don't even feel it when it's happening. Dr. Appleton performs all the treatments himself. Give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Frank from West Palm. How you doing there?
All right,
Brian,
Frank.
You were absolutely correct. LaPorta Roofing was amazingly phenomenal. They just completed my roof last week, and LaPorta Roofing was superb in all ways imaginable when installing the new roof on my residence. Tom LaPorta meticulously spearheaded the entire project from inception through to the finalization of the assignment. Tom handled all the paperwork involving city permits, inspectors, and my community HOA. He was always available, ensuring me that he had my back in all phases of the project. Additionally, Tom, Scott, and Dan, and the entire crew were very well organized with the plan, consistent with all policies and procedures, and craftsmanship was exemplary in all stages of the design execution. Tom, Scott, and Dan maintained continual contact with me, the homeowner, asking if there were any questions I had or anything further I needed. LaPorta Roofing is, in every respect, a stellar, 5-star, AAA, family-owned company that is a reliable, peace-of-mind roofing organization. These guys are spot on with regards to perfection, and they demand it. I remain mesmerized upon the completion of the job. My roof is a masterpiece. And one last thing before I forget, they were the least expensive quote that I received out of 4 quotes for roofing. I thank Tom LaPorta Roofing for all that they do.
Wow, Frank. Well, thanks so much. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. He works with every type of structure, residential, commercial, municipal, and he works with every type of roofing material. Also, don't forget, Tom Laporta will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need just a simple repair, he'll do it. He can also handle the job of any size, whether it's a single-family home or an HOA with over 200 units. Give him a call. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, laportaroofing.com. Frank, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Brian. You have a wonderful day.
On the line, we have Gina. She's a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. Gina, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing great, thanks. So you went and met with Joe Thomas about annuities. Can you tell me about your experience?
I can't say enough good things about my experience with Joe Thomas. He's a straight shooter. He tells it like it is. He talks in plain language so that you know, because I didn't know anything about this stuff when I retired. So I walked into his office, and immediately I felt comfortable. And I said, look, I know nothing about this. I don't want to lose my shirt. So please guide me in the right direction so that I'll be set. And he sure did. And I'm very happy that I went there. And I even got my mother to join, too. Now I feel comfortable that I'm set, and I don't have to worry about running out of money.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than running out of money before you run out of life, right?
Exactly.
Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999 and online, jupiterjoe.com. All right, Gina, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast, and every line on the board is lit. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I've been waiting for 120 minutes plus yesterday. I've been on hold for 24 hours.
Well, you know, a lot of people want to talk to me, Richie. The show's getting popular, man. Getting popular.
Hey, I'm going to say, first of all, you got to put it. I've been listening all morning. You have to put at the top of your thumbnail the Brian Craig Show, educating America.
Yes,
because I've heard some dummy. That's what you should put that in there, because I've heard some of the dumbest callers. First of all, I have to say this to everyone out there listening, and probably the people that already talked to you. Brian used to be a flaming liberal. He's grown up and he's educated. He does more research and reading than anybody you could imagine.
Well, I want to put a disclaimer on what Richie says. You know, I've been doing this since I was like 19 years old. So Richie is right. When I was a child, I thought like some of these grown men think that have been calling me today. Then I grew up. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, you grew up. So to beat Brian in a debate, you better do your homework, and you're still going to lose the debate because Brian is very well read. He's up to date on the topics. You're not going to get away with crap. The first guy to curse you, and by the way, I can't believe that you get up at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to have somebody tell you to go F yourself the first thing in the morning.
Isn't that nice?
That's
nice.
And then the other guy who's trying to debate you that's in the background laughing like a stupid. I can't believe these people that are calling in.
Yeah.
The best one was the hospital, the lady that worked at the hospital in California who told the truth. And here's the deal out there. I got to let you know this. The first guy that called up and said this is a free religion and anyone should begin. First of all, it is a Judeo-Christian nation. We don't mind Muslims getting in office. We mind Islamists. Would that be the ones that have actually come out in the open and have said we want to take over the world?
Well, let me add something. When Mamdani, in his angry acceptance speech the other night, he said, "I'm an American." He said, "I'm a Muslim. I'm an immigrant." He never said he was an American. He never once said he was an American.
His mother said he isn't an American.
That's correct.
His mother, who's a Jew hater. So the bottom line is this: the first guy that called up was out of whack. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Secondly, the Affordable Care Act. Okay, these people are waiting for instant money. You got to wait till your income tax, who's out there, your income tax coming in. And by the way, the Republican Party went through this great, big, beautiful bill, basically eliminated Obamacare. Obamacare is a disaster. And this latest thing that Chuck Schumer wants to do is pay the insurance companies, and it doesn't guarantee these premiums are going to come down at all. Matter of fact, they're going to go up. Obama messed with something he shouldn't have, just like the mortgages.
That's right.
The government got involved with the liberal Democrats. The mortgages are the same as the insurance. You can't get mortgages anymore because they got involved with the foreclosure, everything else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened when the bottom fell out in 2008. The Democrats are they're so ignorant, Brian. They are so ignorant.
You know what's crazy about it? I was talking to a caller about this the other day. I mentioned so long, all the time, that I've been doing this for 35 years. I started doing a talk radio show when I was like 19 years old or something, right? And I'm 54 now. And the difference in the callers, okay, we always had liberal callers, and they're always wrong. But those callers, they knew what was going on better because they were listening to it. This new wave of liberal caller I'm dealing with, they're getting their information from stupid people, and they think they have all this information and knowledge. All they have are vacuous talk. Like the guy, that was really sad. That one guy that called me, the African-American gentleman, he said he and his wife work hard. They work overtime every week. I'm trying to explain to him that President Trump has done away with the taxes on the overtime he and his wife pay. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to. He's so brainwashed. He just doesn't want to hear it.
By the way, I got to tell you two things. First of all, Long Island Audit, I don't believe that we have the same interest, basically. Long Island Audit is an excellent one out of New York.
I might watch them.
He has a lawyer, and he actually, and the other one that's excellent is Bay Area Transparency.
I haven't seen that
one. San Francisco, California.
Look at that one.
This guy is so educated. Bay Area Transparency. This guy is probably the best of all because he goes into all government offices and they try to throw him out. It's the most amazing.
Yeah, Long Island Audit. I've actually subscribed to already. I didn't even know it because I'm subscribed to a lot of these audit guys. What's the one you were telling me?
Bay Area Transparency. One of the best on YouTube. And the Amagatsett Press I've watched since the very beginning when he was in New York City and he moved out to Colorado.
What's the other guy with the beard? The last one you just said, I always forget his name.
Amagatsett Press.
Okay, Amagatsett Press.
He lived in. That's in New Jersey. Long Island, rather.
Amagatsett Press, whatever the name. I was so upset. They came to my town.
Father and son.
Yeah, they came to my town and I didn't know it. I would have been over there in a heartbeat to meet them. They were at Meisner Park in Boca. And then they went to Las Olas Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. And I was like, oh, man, I wish I would have known. Yeah. And his son has his own channel where you get to see from another viewpoint what happened. I love those First Amendment auditors.
Yeah, well, that particular guy, that Amagatsett is a town in Long Island where he basically got into it with the city hall in the town. They hated him. So they decided to move away from Long Island, New York. But here's the deal. Getting back to what we were talking about with these morons that are calling in trying to debate you, these leftist crazies, okay? Why would anybody, this health care, first of all, we're going to eliminate it right then. Health care is not in the Bill of Rights. That's where they get distorted right off the bat. They get their nose into stuff, and then they destroy what was good. Before the Democrats and Obama got involved, I worked for the city for the Broward County. Brian knows. I worked for a county. We had about 7 options of insurances that we could have purchased through our plan.
Yeah.
But when Obama came in with the Obamacare,
that was it.
It basically chopped everything.
That's right.
A lot of employers said, we don't have to insure our people anymore because they should just go to Obamacare.
That's correct. They
and
destroy
Brian
it.
will tell you, my wife was forced to go on it because Justice Roberts said it was a tax. It was a tax. So they were taxing us, and it got to the point where my wife had to drop it. It was almost $730 a month.
Oh my God! Well, that's why I'm uninsured. It would cost me like $800 a month and thousands in deductibles. Richie, I'm going to move on because I got some things I want to cover. But I appreciate you holding.
Good morning, brother.
All right, take care. Take care. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to share a couple things. We're talking about the SNAP benefits. I got a couple videos I want to share. This is a guy. He's in a Walmart. Okay. This is recent because there's the SNAP benefits have not gone out this month. This is what's happened. Listen to this.
You want to see something crazy? And we in prime time. It's like 7:30 Thursday night. Where is all the foolishness? It's just not present. I don't understand. It's not empty, but I can walk around and listen. Shh, shh, shh. I can hear myself think. What's going on? What could be the cause? There's very little chaos happening. I'm the only person that I can hear speaking. Look at this. A whole lot of nada. And let's just be honest, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Okay, that's because the SNAP benefits. Here we are, no SNAP benefits, and Walmart is empty. Excuse me, guys. Hold on, let me have a drink. I'm choking. I talk so much, my throat gets dry sometimes. Here's one more, then I'll go back to the phones. If I could continue to talk, the show will go on. This is, let me see, this is I'm not sure where this Walmart is, but this is another Walmart. Look at this.
All right, this is more like, I have never seen this before. And it's starting to freak me out a little bit because I have never, at this time of night, seen everything this full. Like, and there's nobody here stocking anything. There's nobody here. There's a couple people, but that's about it. Like, everything is just filled to the max, which is unreal. Let me know. Something's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Walmart's business model is almost solely around the SNAP program. Holy smokes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Alex. I'm calling from Texas. How's it going?
All right, Texas. What's on your mind?
Man, I was just calling because about a few calls back, this kid called in and talking about he was black.
Yeah.
And he's making all them excuses. I normally just sit back and just listen. I'm MAGA. I just wanted to say this. So many people that look like me, melanated, that don't understand what Trump is doing, it's sad to me because Trump is doing everything for America, America first. What he's doing ain't got nothing to do with race. As long as you're American, as long as you're legal, it's everything he's doing apply to you automatically.
Yep.
He's making sure the drugs are not, piles of drugs are not put into nobody's neighborhood, destroying nobody's family. The Democrats, all them previous administration, they made sure all the drugs came in to destroy everybody's neighborhood. Trump is trying to make sure that's not happening. Trump is taking care of everybody. No tax on tips, no tax on none of that. He's helping the Main Street. He's helping Main Street. As long as you got to be America, it's proud of you. It ain't got nothing to do with no race. Trump is for America, America first. Everything he's doing is benefit Americans. That's what a lot of people don't. I don't know why they can't see it. They biting the border wide open. All the people coming in and getting jobs, suppressing the minimum wage and the wages and everything, making sure that can't nobody get a job that who's from America because everybody is taking the cheap labor. Yep. They ain't got to hire you American because they can give it out to the legal for cheap. Trump is helping everybody across the board. In this lockdown, he only to open it until after the 41st day, 41 days, and that way he ain't got to hire back all them bureaucrats and all them agencies that they made illegally. Then he can nuke it. He can do the nuke and open the government back and then check every account, everybody is getting whatever, and make sure they're legit. Other than that, I just call because I'm MAGA and I'm black, and I understand what Trump is doing. If you don't see it, Trump can. If you don't see what Trump is doing, he's doing it for everyone in America, for our kids, grandkids, and everybody's grandkids. If you don't see that, well, Trump can cure cancer, and you won't see it. That's all I have to say, man. I'm gone.
Well, welcome to the show, and make sure you subscribe. All right, call me again sometime.
Yes, sir. Okay, all right, thank you. Bye.
All right, we'll do. All right, great caller. I agree with everything you said. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your name? You're on the air. Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Yeah.
I don't know what that last dumb black person was talking about. He sounds real ignorant and stupid. And, you know, Richie sounds real dumb, ignorant, and stupid.
Well, I'll tell you, Renee, I disagree with your take on the callers. But when you're
not Renee.
Oh, Jay from Jersey. You sound like Jay from Jersey. When you guys are often confused. I disagree with your analysis on the callers. However, when you're talking about ignorance and stupidity, at least you're talking about an area you have a lot of expertise in, since you were both ignorant and stupid.
I do have a lot of expertise into it. I listen to talk to you, so I have to have expertise in it. Now, back to what I was saying about that dumb behind Richie. Richie's going to sit around and talk about, oh, my wife's insurance was so high, we had to stop paying it.
Yeah.
Well, if he said it was $700, he said that was high and he had to stop paying it.
He's retired.
Yours was too high and you had to stop paying it. Now it's going to be double.
Well, then I'll be paying.
What about that?
Well, since I'm paying zero, that means it'll double. It'll still be zero.
Okay, you're paying zero because you're too cheap to pay for your own insurance.
I don't pay for insurance. That's correct. Yes, I have no insurance.
No insurance.
I have no insurance.
And ask you a question. How come in all the years before when Trump was president and he's president now, how come he hasn't come up with a plan for insurance? Where's his plan at?
No, there's insurance and plans. I just choose to spend my money on other things.
He has no answer. You have no answer.
Well, we don't. No, there's a plan out there. I just don't want to spend my money on it. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call, but you don't have much to contribute. You just seem rather confused. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, my name's Ronald. I'm from Texas. I don't want to take up too much of your time, Brian. I just want to respond to that last caller. I think said his name was Clit. And then the other callers before him, I just want to say I hear all these Democrats crying and whining about things that Trump's doing. I think that if Trump saved their lives, they would still find something wrong with it. But I do want to let them know that it's not too late. They could just repent for their votes and accept Donald Trump as their president and savior, and they'll be all right.
That sounds good.
That's all I have to say,
well,
Brian.
Those are some good words. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. I'm Nicole.
Yes, Nicole.
And I'm calling today. I'm in Naples, Florida. And I'm calling Brian because I want to just answer a couple of your points that you've made, and some of them were misleading. I'm an independent, and I'm a proud independent. I don't agree with all Republican policies, and I don't agree with all Democratic policies. But if I had to just, coin the cause and your position, is you come off very erudite and arrogant, as if, I'm MAGA, I'm white, I'm right. If you don't believe and think as I do, I'm wrong.
I didn't say anything like that.
To believe that.
I didn't say anything like that.
No, you didn't. I said you come off that way. And
because you've got racial issues with white men. You don't like white Republicans.
No, I don't have. See, that's the problem.
Well, you used racial slurs against me.
That's my observation of you, Brian.
You had a racial stereotype of me. But go ahead.
I said that's how you come off, Brian. That's how you come off. Just to counteract your points about first the first caller the first call when I came in on was about the Supreme Court backing Trump. That's not what happened. What they got from Ketanji, whatever her last name is, Barrett or Jackson, was a temporary 48-hour administrative stay so that the First Circuit could come back and rule on the merit of the case. So in 48 hours, that stay will be lifted, and he'll have to abide by what the Supreme Court has said.
No, he'll go back to the court again.
Right. And
sorry, listen, I know it's difficult. I understand, lady. You're in Naples, Florida. It's difficult for you living along the coast of the Gulf of America.
I don't live in Naples.
I thought you said
I'm
Naples.
In Naples today.
You're in Naples today.
My demographic.
Excuse me. Here you are on the beautiful.
Here you are.
Excuse me. I'm speaking. Excuse me.
You're speaking, but you're interrupting your guest. That's not.
You're not a guest. You're a caller.
That's not polite.
You're not a guest. You're a caller. There's a difference. You're on. You are. Excuse me.
Because you're talking about my location, that makes me you're tone deaf.
You said you're along the coast of the Gulf of America, right?
I'm
in Naples.
I'm here for a job. I'm not here to vacation.
Well, that's good.
I'm a North Carolina resident.
You're still on the Gulf of America.
That's what I'm saying.
And the Gulf of America is beautiful.
I'm talking about policy.
Boy, talk about triggered.
Talk
about triggered. You're triggered.
You don't like to hear opposite.
I do. That's why I take calls. But you're using racial slurs and stereotypes against me?
I'm not.
We're having a conversation.
And you don't agree with
We're
that.
having a conversation.
Let's have a conversation.
It's hard when you won't stop talking.
Stop the ad hominem attacks, because that's not
all I said is you're on the Gulf of America and you freaked out. Isn't the Gulf of America beautiful?
No, that has nothing to do with my location. It is. It's
have you dipped your toes in the Gulf of America yet?
And what you're saying, it has absolutely nothing to do with it. We're talking about the point that you
made
in college, Brian.
That Gulf of America just.
And what I said.
Yeah.
What I said about policy, what you said was incorrect. That's what I call the discussion.
No, you're talking about what you're talking about is technical court things. As things stand now, Trump won in the Supreme Court.
I said I wanted to address. Okay, as of now, fine. He's got the administrative stay. But we know that is a procedural thing. Mm-hmm. On to your next point. What you said about tariffs. Tariffs are paid by us, not by the people that are importing the products. And it's hurt everyone. Walmart prices have skyrocketed.
That's not what Walmart has said, no. Well, and hold on a second here. Slow down. I want to talk about this.
Proof of that.
Slow down. Tariffs are. This is an interesting thing. From Democrats are admitting something that they never admit.
I'm not
even that they're Democrats. I know liberals. Okay, liberals are saying something.
And being liberal does not make you superior, Brian. That's what I was saying about you.
No, being a liberal makes you inferior. Okay. Liberals.
It doesn't make you.
Oh my goodness!
Make us inferior, but you talk to us if we should be, and we are not. Or if we're not.
Excuse me.
That's what I said. That's not a racial stereotype. That's how you're coming.
You call me rude? You call me rude?
Yes. Okay. Well,
listen how hysterical you are. Okay.
Go ahead.
This is an interesting thing. Liberals, when it comes to these tariffs, are making an argument that Republicans have been making about taxes for years. President Reagan and others. They call tariffs or import taxes. They don't like to call them import taxes because they don't want to be verbally opposing a tax. What you're saying is taxes are passed on to the consumer. So you must be against all taxes since all taxes are passed on to consumers.
You know what you said earlier about Trump trying to do away with the entire taxes, federal taxes? I hope that he does. But as it stands now, let me ask you this. Yesterday, it's Thursday, did you hear the Supreme Court when Trump's attorney and the Solicitor General went before the Supreme Court? Chief Justice Roberts asked him point blank, who pays the taxes? And what his response was, we do. We all know that because the cost of those imports are the prices.
So you're against all taxes then, right? So you're against all taxes, sales tax, income tax, corporate tax? Well, tariffs is a tax. Import taxes, all taxes are passed along. It's part of business. All expenses.
But isn't that what he's in court for right now? For the Supreme Court to rule whether or not
he's in court. He's in court because my goodness. Are you a married woman? Are you married?
Congress. Yes, I am.
Oh my goodness, your poor husband. Your poor husband. You must have a lot of one-sided. You must have a lot of one. All right, thank you for your call. She won't stop talking. I can't have a conversation with someone who won't stop talking. Her husband her husband probably speaks very little. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling? I don't mind people that disagree, but we have to be able to have a conversation. You're on the air.
Hey,
what's your name?
David.
Hey, David.
David Crane.
What's your name?
Hey, what's going on now?
David? All right, David.
Yeah.
Yes, you called
I
me.
had to pause the video.
What's on your mind?
Okay. I'd like to do a little bit of clarification with some of the stuff that you've been talking about earlier. And it's based off just maybe my opinion and me rambling old man. I'm 57. I'm retired, military, disabled. You always, there's something I keep hearing that the people on the right are always say that it was the Democrats, the South, basically. It was the Democrats. The KKK was the Democrats. Jim Crow was the Democrats.
Correct.
And then that's correct, right?
Right. Here we go with the party switch nonsense. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So the Democrats. So we're talking about Civil War Democrats.
No.
Okay. Jim Crow. What?
We're talking about more modern Dem. We're talking about the 60s, the 70s, the 50s, too.
Okay. I know. Listen, let me finish. God damn.
Oh, taking the Lord's name in vain? Please don't do that.
Oh, please. No, you're fixing to see what I'm talking about, the Lord's name in vain, with just a second when I say about you guys. Okay. So, all right. So you got your Confederate Democrats. Okay. Then you got, when the Confederate, when the war was over and the South lost, the KKK was created.
By Democrats.
In the
Correct.
South.
By Democrats.
Correct. So that same lineage.
Nathan Bedford Forrest.
From the Democrats, from that same lineage, from Mason-Dixon line and everything else, all the way down was Democrats, which were, and technically, traitors. Since they succeeded from the country.
Insurrectionists.
The Union,
Insurrectionists.
They excuse me?
They were insurrectionists.
They elected a president. They drafted their own constitution. This was the South. This was the Confederacy. These were Democrats. Now, what you keep saying is that the Democrats created Jim Crow,
correct,
and KKK, and that's correct. But what about the lineage? So if my great-great-great-grandfather was in the South during that time, and he was a Democrat, he's a traitor. He's a traitor. That's what the South was. They were traitors.
All right, what's your point? Can you get to it? I don't understand what point you're trying to make.
No. You like to do this. My point is this. If my great-great-grandfather was a traitor, he hated fucking black people. He thought slavery was good. He looked at black people and didn't like them because they're different.
Yeah.
He didn't like them because they were dumb.
What does all this have to do with what we're talking about now? Can you get it up till today?
No. This is what I'm trying to get back. There's no reason for anybody in the world to listen to you guys because the lineage is the one that passes down. Product of environment is the reason that most people have hate and ignorance. If I'm around a bunch of people who are a bunch of stupid fucks, 99% of the time, I'm going to be a stupid fuck.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you're stupid, but you're. What is your point?
Listen. Let me finish.
You're taking too long.
Over everybody until I'm talking. Let me say my point.
Get to your point.
I live in Arkansas right now. In the 1950s, those Democrats that you're saying spit on black children trying to go to school.
Correct.
In Little Rock 9.
That's right.
That would have been maybe my grandmother. I'm 57. I was born in 68. That would have been my grandmother, right? Right?
Maybe.
Right? Yeah.
Perhaps.
A Democrat. If my grandmother was spitting on black kids going to school, she was a Democrat, correct?
Could have been, yeah.
Then how in the hell did the entire South switch over to fucking Republican?
Okay.
How did all the people that were there? Okay. They didn't go up north. The North didn't come
slow down.
North.
Slow down.
South.
Okay, I'm gonna answer your question. Okay.
Okay. How did the entire South switch from one party, from one philosophy?
Okay. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain it to you. Okay. You're not going to like it. But but here's okay. You're talking about the 50s and such. Since the 50s, okay, there was.
What about the 40s and 30s and 20s?
I'm trying to answer. I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer this with or without you on the phone. I would like you to be a part of the conversation, but you have to stop interjecting.
Because I got a lot to go.
Well, no, you don't have a lot to go, and the profanities and the name calling. Come on.
Just move on, man.
Well, no, have some class. Have some class.
Oh, conservatives having class is irony, man.
I'm not calling you. I'm not throwing profanities at you. Okay. Since the 50s, there was something that President Roosevelt was responsible for constructing, the interstate highway system. And since that era, there's been mass migration. I myself am originally from Ohio, as is most of my family. Even recently, after the shutdowns and lockdowns, mass migration to the South. Right now, because of this.
Okay, so
excuse me, I'm not done. I'm not done. I am not done. I'm not done.
It doesn't take a bunch of talking.
Right now, excuse me. No.
Save a point.
Mom Donnie,
You're
just.
saying that you made the mass migration.
All right, thank you for your call. I'm not going to be interrupted constantly and not be able to finish a thought on my show. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to tolerate that. I love people to call in that disagree, even vile people with language like that, but you got to let me make my point. Right now, with the election of Mom Donnie in New York, there's a mass wave of migration that's going to come to Florida from New York. The 50s was almost 100 years ago. So people have moved and migrated around the country since then. Like in the great days of the settlers of old, they got in their cars, in their minivans, their station wagons, or an airplane and moved to Florida or Georgia or Texas. That's how politics have changed in southern states. That's how. It's called migration. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right. You're out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, boy, I don't think I get on. All these Looney Tunes got on. Even Renee, how does Renee get on all the time? And I don't. I'm like,
he's
I'm
patient.
waiting.
I guess he's patient. He's hung in there. He's got nowhere to go, nothing to do. So he'll call in and hang on for as long as he's got to.
I'm just sitting I'm sitting a cruise terminal waiting to get on a cruise up here. I listen to you all the time. But
awesome. Thank you.
That's what I do for a living. I go on cruises. I know people will hate me saying that, but got this, like I'm going on the Star Seas next week to XL. Well, Celebrity's my favorite cruise line.
Mm-hmm. Mine too. It's what we do our MAGA cruises on.
Oh, yeah. Yours I couldn't make because it was, again, I was like, it's kind of counteracting that. I've been on the Beyond so many times. But love Trump, best president. I have nothing negative to say. I hope he runs in 2028. If not, with whoever, Rubio, Vance, John Jr. But, I'm not going to be like these crybabies. He's got a lot of crybabies on today.
Well, with a lot of these people, this is the first time that they've actually spoken to a MAGA person. They've heard about us. They've seen us on TV and been talked about by pundits. But this is the first time they've actually talked to one, and they're. I mean, did you hear that one woman I just mentioned? She's along the Gulf of America, and she just freaked out. She totally lost it.
Where's she live?
She's visiting. She's visiting Florida, and she just happens to be on the West Coast along the Gulf of America. When I said that, she just lost it.
No, I say it all the time. I have a shirt that says it too.
Yeah.
But see, I live in Erie. Like I said, you live more on the east side.
Well, listen. So what's on your mind? What inspired your call today? Not your travels and stuff.
They want to tell. I know. That's what I'm saying. They probably hate me when I say that. The Mondami dum-dums over there in New York City. I hope Renee and Jay enjoys all that shit over there. It's ridiculous. I can't believe that they voted that guy in. But Como was nothing great to vote on either. I was surprised that Jack didn't get in. But, New Jersey, I guess they love being blue there.
Mm-hmm.
They know nothing but blue.
Yep.
Like I said, I was in Florida, so I don't have to worry about it.
That's true. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Take care. All right. Let me take another call or two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Scott. I'm calling from Kansas City.
Hey, Scott. What's up?
Yeah. I'm not hitting you with anything. I just wanted some clarity here. Are you still in the belief that Tucker Carlson is a CIA operative and he is working with Fuentes? to destroy MAGA.
I did a whole podcast on this last night.
Well, yeah, but
I do. I do believe that is a possibility. He is definitely working to destroy the MAGA movement of President Trump. Who he's working for, we don't know for sure. That's definitely a possibility.
But he is operating as a operative or a mercenary or something like that.
Maybe he may just be doing it because he personally hates Trump. He may be getting paid. He may be deep state. He's out to destroy the MAGA movement in Turning Point USA, and he's doing it. What his motivating factor, we don't know for sure, but he's certainly out there to do. I mean, he's elevated Nick Fuentes, to destroy Charlie Kirk's good work.
He did that. I didn't see I saw part of the interview. I couldn't take it. And he was on, Fuentes has been on Timcast for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Not very long there.
Yeah, they're all having, a lot of them are having him on because, he's good for views, I guess. Patrick Bet David had him on. I was shocked at that one.
Yeah, he's just like he does. I can't smell him over the internet, but he's just like that foul smelling.
So anyway, you called me about Tucker. So why were you asking me about Tucker?
Well, Tucker, what will be his motivation to go after MAGA, which just seems to be...
He's always been against Trump. He's always been against Trump. He has always been against Trump.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's worked against Trump for years. Yes. Yeah, there were some text messages of his released recently, trashing Trump. Yeah, he's a big anti-Trump guy. He's not MAGA. His dad was CIA.
I knew Shapiro was, and I knew Glenn Beck was for a little bit until he changed sides.
They were never Trumpers too. Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, they're all never Trumpers. Candace Owens, they were all never Trumpers at one point, very openly. Listen to my podcast from yesterday. It's got Tucker Carlson in the thumbnail on YouTube. I go through all of this in detail.
Yeah, I wasn't around yesterday, but I could look at it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll check that out.
Okay, all right. Appreciate the call. Take care. Now, if you'd like to support my channel and my content, become a Patreon supporter, guys. There's a link in the description of the episode to my Patreon page. If you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to commercial-free editions of all of my podcasts. Also, I have a live chat exclusively for podcast supporters that's actually on the podcast. I'm sorry, on the Patreon platform itself. You can watch it on the desktop version of Patreon or the Patreon app. There's an app. I use the app. But I have a chat room and a live stream just like on YouTube. It's a live stream like on YouTube, except it's on Patreon, and it's a no troll zone. So if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of this episode on whatever platform you're listening on. And if you're a top Patreon supporter, you get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode. So the names you'll hear now are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank SF Jr., Christine, ETW, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, Lizep, Shauna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, Janice, Teresa, Irene, and Doris. These are my top Patreon supporters. Thank you all for your support. Again, there's a link to my Patreon page in the description, or you can go to the website directly, patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Great calls today. Those of you on hold, I'm sorry I didn't get to all your calls, but I'll be back. Make sure you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you're on, and you can call me live next time I'm doing a show. All right, take care. I will talk to you next time.